Sanbanani, Southern Africa, Sanbanani, Far Eastern Catholic News, Sanbanani, Archdiocese of Johannesburg. This is Kati Dijane, and I'm so excited to be crossing here in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, my home Archdiocese, and I am in the Chancery in the youth office, and I'm very excited to be engaging with our new HOD for the youth office. His name is Ntate Tiiso Mosoeu, aka Umalumo 2000, Uncle Abundance. I'm so excited. So when I heard the news, I was very happy for many reasons. First of all, I know that he's a committed man when it comes to the service of the church, and he's also not new to many people within the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, even in Southern Africa. So if you've been listening to Radio Veritas, you would have heard his voice every day at 1 p.m. and he would be a presenter on A Talk of Love back in them days. So he's not new really when it comes to evangelization, when it comes to our Catholic faith. And so we just wanted to welcome you to the youth office, and we wanted to ask you to just introduce yourself to our audience in terms of who you are. It's very exciting to get to know you on a personal level beyond you being a presenter and umalume. So welcome. Thank you so much for gracing us with your time. And that it is so for those who have never heard of you or who don't know you, if you can please introduce yourself pertaining to Ukumapi, your church, and yeah, so we'll take it from there.
Okay. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for doing this. Such a formality, but yeah, thank you. It's such an honor, it's such a privilege, and it brings me so much joy to be sitting next to you and having this conversation and finding out more about me. The name is Tiiso Mosoeu, as you've already said, Uncle Abundance, the beloved. This is me now going back to my radio days. But Tiiso Mosoeu, originally from Molapo in Soweto, original parish, Our Lady of the Assumption. Shout outs to Father Secretary Libanje, my parish priest for now. It's an oblate parish. Shout outs to St. Matthew's, the school I went to from primary up until high school. Shout outs to the Sacred Heart Sodality, the Sodality I've been part of since 2010. I was part of the young people as well, the youth choir. I was an altar server, and that's how I came up, and I will always give credit to the late great Father Patrick Maselwane OMI. May his soul rest in peace. And up until my days and years at Radio Veritas, shout outs to them as well. Father Emil Plaza, OP, may his soul rest in peace as well. Yeah.
So thank you so much for that great introduction. So when you saw this opening, I think you will be filling very big shoes, as our former HOD Utile Naika has recently left. He's been part of this youth office for over 12 years. And so when you saw this post or this vacancy, what motivated you to apply for it? Because I mean, you're from a different form of evangelization. You are from a media part or a broadcasting part. Now you'll be engaging intimately with young people. So what motivated you to apply for this position?
You just mentioned something so profound. You said Dylan was in this office for 12 years, and then now looking back, I also served at Radio Veritas for 12 years.
My goodness.
So yeah, this is I don't know. I would say this is a full circle moment. I remember I applied back in 2008 or 9 to this similar post, and I think at the time it was Father Vincent Sokela who was the chaplain. So when I saw it again, I was like, okay, this is an extension of what I did at Radio Veritas. You also mentioned at this time, you mentioned that I did it, it was a media platform. However, when I saw this is a face-to-face, a full-on engagement now with the young people of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. Not an easy task. When I got the call that you got the job, I was like, I don't know how to go from A till B. However, going back to the question why I applied, I would say it is an extensive of what I did at Radio Veritas, and it boils down to passion of working with, working within the church structure, within the church spaces, and of course, working with the young people. I mean, when you work with the young people, you also you feel rejuvenated yourself because you have to come down to their level. And I could say I'd still consider myself a young person. I'm not 40 yet, guys. I'm not 40 yet. So yes, I would say it's something that it was like a hand fitting in a glove. When I was being interviewed, one of the questions was like, okay, how will you manage to, engage? Are you want to do, public speaking? Are you want to be, engaging with young people? How will you be able to do that? And then one of the answers that I gave is like, during my tenure at Radio Veritas, it's all about being relatable. You would find a 5-year-old listening to you, a 13-year-old listening to you, all the way to a 65-year-old person listening to you, and they will all be somehow related. Radio, with one thing with radio, it's being relatable, and that also goes with the power of communication. People must be, you must be an easy person that they can connect with. So that's something that I found very, very profound and loving, that you are able to connect with from a young toddler, 5 years old, to an elderly person, a 65-year-old person. Some of them are on pension, even to Abokoko, an 80-year-old, and they'll call you by this name, Uncle Abundance, Malume. So that I took it and I was like, oh, okay, this also can be done at this level. I think on Friday, when I was being inducted, during the induction, being introduced to the staff, one thing I said was like, I went from club level, I'm now playing for the national team. Oh. So this is like the national team signing you, and you are being unveiled as this marquee signing. So that's how it feels. Yeah,
and I think it's a very exciting challenge that God is entrusting you in the hands of.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's something that I feel it shouldn't be taken for granted.
Absolutely.
God is trusting you with young souls to lead him to heaven. And it's gonna tie to the next question of how are you aiming to accompany young people to heaven in terms of your vision for this youth office? I'm sure you came with a ton of visions.
There's a whole lot of ton of visions and strategies. And you mentioned as well that, I'll be filling in big shoes, huge shoes left by our guy who just stepped in right now, Mr. Dylan Jody Naker. So, yay! Shout outs to him for doing such a fantastic job. He said for 12 years, the same way I felt there. I did my work at Radio Veritas. It's a very, you mentioned how important the youth ministry is. So it's such engagements. Young people today, there's the power of social media, your TikToks, your Facebooks, your Instagram is changing that mentality of the old school way of engaging, and now integrating it with, new forms of media, activities as well, And one thing that I had in mind that I need to mention is that I need to mention this, that, even when I got the job, I will say I dedicate this to, Our Lady of Good Counsel. So I want to not per se introduce, but rather emphasize the importance of having, Our Lady, the importance of Our Lady in our daily prayer lives to the young people, praying your rosary. You did mention that one has a whole ton of ideas, and one thing that I also like to put out there, one day I'd like to have a rosary rally of young people at a stadium, a stadium performance. So this is me putting one of the ideas out there, like one day will be maybe fill up fill up Standard Bank Arena, or fill up Ellis Park, and just that day, maybe for the month of October, dedicating it to Our Lady of the Rosary, So this is one of those steps where we need to engage back the young people, and it's reintroducing Christ in our lives and emphasizing the importance of having Christ in our daily lives, especially on the young people. You did say it's a very, very important and a sensitive task as well, because the young people, we like it or not, these are the future leaders of the church as well. So it's very important that Christ needs to be the center hold of their lives.
And I think the most special thing about the interview here is that I remember you also accompanying me pertaining to the ministry that I do through the newsletter, because Dalikona, guys.
Yeah.
Just there. It's been there since 2013. And I remember during your shows when you would help promote it in terms of us, getting the support that it needed. It went through so many changes. Now it's called Far East Rand Catholic, but it has so many names before that. And I wanted to ask, what is the importance of you holding a person's hand in terms of their particular ministry?
What is the most important
of holding a person's hand or accompanying them pertaining to
guidance, right? This is guidance. As young people, we are faced with mammoth tasks and mammoth challenges in lives. We're navigating through this and this. You have challenges of unemployment, you have challenges of matriculants, not knowing what to do next. It's very important. Mentorship as well. Mentorship is very important, knowing that you need to guide this young person. Yes, you are in matric right now, and you get those people who I have no idea what I'll be doing next year, what I'll be studying. Some don't even have the funds to go to, to further their studies. So mentorship is important, and letting them know, find your passion. Find your passion in whatever that you want to do, whether it's being an accountant, being active in the church as well. Make sure you know your whys. I always mention that you know your whys. Why are you doing it? Is it for fame and glory and Instagram likes or TikTok followers, or is it something that's within you? Once you know your why, there'll be that burning desire inside of you pushing why you are getting into this. Why do you want to study media? Why do you want to become an accountant? Know your whys. So that guidance is important too. But you don't just do things for being validation. It has to push you from within. So I think that guidance is quite key, so that everything has to be structured on how to navigate this life thing, because it's not easy. It's not easy, but we are here, and that support and guidance is very, very important.
Yes, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
This appointment. And I think what I'm excited about pertaining to the next question is that not only are you filling in the shoes when it comes to the ministry, but I'm excited that you're also a family man in terms of you being a father and a married person. We all know Dylan as well was a family man. He would bring his kids here to the office, or just, take them through things like a whole day and all those things. So it's going to tie in with the question of, I think it's very important that you also mention that you can't aspire to what you don't see in terms of examples. And I think it's important for even young adults, good examples pertaining to whether I'm just picturing her as being a nun or as being a sister. Hopefully she's inspiring that young girl out there. You being a family man, a married man, even Dylan, him being married. I hope it did spark that sort of inspiration that you can aspire to certain vocations that the church gives to us,
1,000%.
how to achieve our holiness. So the next question I have for you is, how are you intending to help promote vocations, especially you living your vocation as a married man and a father? So how are you aiming to help show young people the importance of trying to figure out their vocations within the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, whether it's priesthood or marriage? Yeah,
it boils down to a family man, being a priest, being, some even aspire to being deacons as well. Like I say, it goes, once you know why do I want to become this, It's that thing of making, there's this challenge, especially young people. Marriage is not such a sacred thing, especially of social media influences. What you see on social media. So on how and why we need to make family life cool again. It needs to be visible, because that's how I came up as well. I'll go back to my home parish. You'll find a certain family, them of vocations, you see them attending mass every Sunday. It's like, one day I want to be that Mfokeng who comes with his wife and children. One day I want to become that Ngomezulu. You find so much inspiration. So when it finally happens, from it being a dream to it becoming a reality. And then one day, just yesterday, I was just an altar server, being a 12-year-old boy, serving Our Lady of the Assumption Parish. And then she fast forward, also becoming part of the Sacred Heart Totality. I remember one of the things that drew me to the Sacred Heart was I attended one of the retreats. It was an all-men retreat. And then I got there. You see, all these minutes was an all-weekend retreat. From Friday to Sunday. It's all men. They are in worship. They are in service of Christ. You celebrate Mass. You wake up in the morning. You are praying the Rosary. I've never seen this. This was possible. Because we know a church. Even the numbers you see, it's mostly Abu Mama who was active and involved. When they say in a family home, the father, Christ is of course the foundation, and then comes Ubaba, who's the head of the family. I was like, I want this, because coming from where I come from, it's something that wasn't being celebrated. Marriage, once you get married, you become jailed for life. Your wife now is the one who holds, you are being remote controlled. And I was like, that's something I would love, I want to experience that. So I can only hope and pray, even the young people, are coming up and they are witnessing this, they are witnessing me doing this. So it's possible, guys. It's possible to lead a home, a prayer-filled home, where Christ is the foundation of everything. So, yeah, and I'll always revert back to why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Are you doing it to be seen? Are you doing it to become famous? Why are you doing it? Because it's something that you love. It's passion. It's passion driven. So everything has to be passion driven, and knowing your whys as well.
Yeah. So that's very exciting, to make family life look cool again. Really going back to your whys. Why are you wanting to do, or even follow that certain vocation? So hopefully the youth office will be able to work hand in hand with a department in charge of vocation.
Yeah.
Really, even the family desk, Sister Nisi Lamini is also the HOD there. So hopefully we'll be able to collaborate and just really try to do maybe, I don't know, road shows or something like that.
Yeah, because you don't become young forever. It's life. There's phases. You graduate from being a toddler to being a teenager. You become a youth, you become a young adult, and then next you are an elder. So there's phases, there's stages in life, and it's very important that young people in this archdiocese, and even across the world, across other dioceses, that they know there's life, there's phases. It's a pattern, and you have to know how to navigate throughout, and with the challenges that come, of course. However, you need to come out tops, Yeah.
I know that you are gonna start settling now into your new role, and I would like for you to please do that by imparting your message of hope to young people. So what can we expect from you in the first few months in terms of your to-do list? I mean, we were just reflecting on 6 months of Pope Leo as our new Pope, since his, are they appointed or elected? They are appointed.
Yeah.
He was appointed in May, on the 8th of May, and he was shown to the world. So 6 months, we have seen the work he's been doing. So maybe 6 months from now, when we speak again with you, what are the things you have achieved, first of all? And then if you can wrap up also with your message of hope.
Unification. I know we need to unify. I want to see that. I have this vision of seeing, young people from, I'll make an example, a parish like Our Lady of Lourdes in Rivonia, people from my parish in Mulapo, in Soweto, township parishes, suburban parishes being one. Something like you see, well, that only I know happens once in 4 years, something that you see for the mini World Youth Day. It's such a beautiful image when you see all those young people all meeting up and in service of Christ. So that's something that we need to see on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis, whatever, weekly, where we are all one. Where there's an event, they are the first to jump at that opportunity to be involved in whatever ministry or event or activity that will be going on. So that's something that I need to dwell on and work on, and that's one of the visions. And also my message of hope to the young people out there: it's possible. One thing I've learned while navigating through this life journey is that anything is possible. Don't ever let anyone tell you it cannot be done. It should come from within, and you should have that belief in you. Also, the power of prayer, guys, the power of prayer. Please don't take it for granted. So you can do anything. I think it's a scripture verse. You can do anything through Christ who strengthens us. So do believe that it is possible. It can be done in whatever journey that you want to embark on, and never ever let detractors tell you otherwise. It is possible. So young people, and let's keep on praying for each other. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for a great chat. There you have it, our new HOD, Tiiso Mosoeu, Uncle Abundance.
Still sounds surreal, I must say.
So we're looking forward to seeing what you have in store for the youth department in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. Really, like I mentioned, God is entrusting you to such a sensitive, ministry. And we will definitely pray for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we hope that you've gotten a glimpse of who Tiiso Mosoeu is, our new HOD in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, serving the youth ministry. Thank you.